And they only makes 8 cookies. I mean, we have iStation. It's our middle of the year test. Submitted my resume, my application, all that stuff for. I'm not really sure if there's any positions. It's like, I don't know if those positions have been filled or not, but. Good morning. It is Thursday, January 10th, I believe. Payday today, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We actually did not get our check. Like, we don't, I have direct deposit, so, like, it's already in my account. But we get our W-2s also, or 1099s, or 1098s, or whatever they're called. And so we don't get our, like, copies of our pay stubs like in our email that we usually get. So I wanted to share with you guys a little something. I have these cookies right here that they're called 2-ingredient cookies or something. I can't remember what they're called. Sorry if it moved or anything, because there was some weird guy sitting, like, he parked his car out, like, in front of the school over here. I was just sitting there, and then he kept looking over into the window, and I just was like, I started feeling really uncomfortable, so I was like, I'm gonna turn off the camera for a minute, just to kind of see what happens, but he drove away. I'm assuming he was dropping somebody off, but I don't know, it was really weird. Anyway, so back to my story. These are called 2-ingredient cookies, or breakfast cookies, I think they're called. And they're made with oats and bananas, but they're really not 2 ingredients because you add, I added blueberry, like dehydrated blueberries into mine. They're really good though. They're like, they have no refined sugar in them at all. So you don't add sugar. The sugar comes from the banana. The riper your banana is, the more sweet your cookies are. So, but mine were actually pretty sweet. Like, I didn't have any issues with mine. I really enjoyed them. They're really good. And they only makes 8 cookies. I ate 2 yesterday, so I still have 6 left. It's 1 banana, like a large banana, and then a cup of oats. And what you do first is you put your banana in, mash your banana up with a fork, like until it's like soupy or something. Not soupy, but like it becomes like a thick sauce. And then you add your cup of oats, mix all that up. And at the same time, when I added the oats, I added my blueberries. You can add chocolate chips if you really want like some kind of sweet inside of it. You can add any kind of fruit or anything you want, or nuts. You can add maybe almonds or walnuts or something in it. And so you mix it all up, and then you put it on the cookie sheet, and you roll them into little balls, and you should have 8 balls. Then you kind of pat them down a little bit so that they don't really spread very much, but you just pat them down just a little bit, and then so they kind of make like a little disc. And then you pop them in the oven and cook them for about 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Today we have Art in the morning, and I have one of my leadership. Oh, he's back again. So awkward. I had to do like a leadership meeting thing for our 90-day plan. I don't know, hopefully they said it shouldn't take the whole time, but I'm hoping it doesn't. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to like look out the window at this dude because he's really weird. He's probably gonna watch my blog and be like, oh, that was me. I'm not that weird. You are when you're sitting out front looking at me. She said it shouldn't take the whole time. So I'm gonna try to get stuff ready so that way if I have to make copies, I can make them right now. Nice thing is I do have PE in the afternoon, so if we do not get done and things just take longer than they're supposed to, I will have still a chance because I'll have everything ready. When Art is over, I can't even speak this morning. When Art is over, we will go to do our iStation testing. So we have iStation. It's our middle of the year test. So I've already they were not allowed to do it at all during this last couple days. I told them not to do it because I didn't want them doing the test in the classroom because it's a big test. The kids are not like super quiet in here. You know how it is. You know how it is with first graders. I kind of wanted them to be able to take the tests in a place that's like a controlled environment. And so we set up for the computer lab for today. So right after Art, we go down and take our iStation test. And then we'll come back and we are gonna do, we have another close read for penguins that we're doing. And I can't remember what today's is off the top of my head. And then we have for our ooh as in moon things, this is the game they're gonna play. So each one of them will put them inside of their folder. And then the partners, they'll be in partners because it's a game. So they'll each have a spinner and they'll spin, and then when they get their word, they find it and they color it in, and they only color it in one time. So because it's multiple times sometimes, the first one to color in the whole board is the winner. So, but they have to be able to read the word too and find it. So, and they might spin maybe moon 4 times, and so when they get to the 4th one, they don't color it, there's nothing to color. So, it gets a little harder as it goes along. And that's today's. I thought that'd be kind of fun for an interactive notebook type thing. For math, we are doing 10s and 1s. And then on the inside, they have to do the number of tens and ones, and then write how many tens, how many ones, and what the number is. And then this one here, they're going to be using objects to help them solve problems. So they'll be drawing a picture, and they'll tell how many fish swim away, and they'll be doing a subtraction sentence to match that. That's that. But I'm going to go ahead and get stuff ready because it's now 7:15, and I need to get stuff ready for making copies and everything for next week. So, the end of the day has come. My hair is like a big old mess outside. It got really cold outside all of a sudden. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if it's getting ready to rain or what. And I'm getting ready to check here in a minute. Apparently, I submitted my resume, my application, all that stuff for the job in, my hopefully future job. Just kidding. No, for that job, my hair is like a hot mess. I don't know what's up with it. It's like, I really need a haircut. Anyway, so I applied for that job and I put in all the application, did all that stuff. I was talking about it. I did all that stuff. As soon as I did it, I guess apparently the people that I had for references were already contacted. They're like, oh yeah, I got that yesterday. So I wanted to check. I'm pretty sure I can go on and see exactly what they put. And I meant to do that earlier and I kind of forgot. One of them already told me, she's like, all right, I'll tell you what I put on there. I'm like, oh, I don't really care. I picked you guys because I knew you guys would be honest on it. And they would have decent answers, but still be honest. You know what I mean? We did our iStation test today. I had some kids, because our goal is for the students to move up 25 points by the end of the school year. I have one student. Now, granted, the student was super low in the beginning, and they're still super low, but they gained 31 points. I was so excited. I know that but that's a huge gain for the student. So I was so excited. And then even my other lowest one gained 25 points, I think it was. I was just like, this is crazy. So at this point, I told them that they needed to be 12 points or higher. So they had gained, a lot of them let me count out how many I had. Okay, so 8 of my students were the 12 points or higher. Probably 4 of those ones had gained over 20 points. So that was fantastic. Then again, I had to keep them high, for the end of the year. And then most of my other ones gained points. I had 2 that lost 1 point, that went down 1 point, which was so disappointing. And I had 1 that stayed exactly the same. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. The only reason I brought that up is because my iStation was still open. We had a little pep talk beforehand and talked about how, make sure you stay focused because some of those questions are they only give you 8 seconds to answer. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to go home here in a second because it's already 3:35. I kind of want to get out of here because I've been getting home and it's just I've been getting home and editing on the vlog and then working on that application and everything. And I would like to just go home today. I'm not going to edit today. I'm just going to go home and just kind of relax for a little bit. Crock-pot's already going, so we're making chicken and dumplings tonight, or I am. So when I get home, I need to put in all the dumplings, which I just take biscuits and just pull them apart and throw them on the top of the crock pot, and we just let that go. But now that I'm thinking about it, I need to post something too onto Instagram. Good morning, it is Friday. So glad it's Friday. Friday. I don't know what that was, but anyway, so I checked last night. I think all of my references have been submitted now, if I remember correctly. And I was just texting some of the people that, because like, they're all people I work with. So of course, I kind of know what they put. I was not able to go and look at them. If you remember yesterday, like they wouldn't let me look at them. And I'm waiting for me to get my teaching license in Kansas. I have to do my background check again. Like Kansas wants you to use their fingerprint cards, wherever it is. I ordered one, and guess what? I still haven't received. I'm like, I need to get that going because the district already sent over their part of it. So that's all I'm waiting on is a fingerprint card and get my fingerprints done. So it's craziness. It's so nerve-wracking too, because I was just talking to my sister or texting her, and I was asking her, I'm like, do you know, because I know a lot of people in the school district out there. So I was like, do you know, like, and she knows a lot of, hey, this is a weird thing. So I went to school with a lot of these people that work, in the schools, and I met a lot of people just by working in the schools and stuff like that. So I left, and then my sister started meeting a lot of these same people. So now she's friends with all the people that I was friends with, but we weren't friends with the people at the same time. It's so weird. I'm getting kind of nervous now, but I'm more... not anxious. I'm anxious. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm anxious because I'm not nervous about I will be when probably the job interview comes along, but I'm not right now. The job's been posted since November, and it's for next school year. So it's not even for this school year. It's for next school year. And it's already posted, and it's been up for that long. I'm not sure if they're waiting on other applicants or they've already hired and they haven't taken it down or what is going on with it. But I'm hoping that it's the first one that, they were waiting on applicants and nobody has applied. So that's what I'm hoping for because that would really help out in my favor. And it was funny because my sister, she just put her house up for sale, and that's how we got in the conversation. So Rudy happened to see it when he was on because he likes to go out and look at, the listings and stuff. And he was like, so, there's a house for sale at blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I knew the address, and I'm like, okay. He was like, I didn't know they were putting it up for sale. I'm like, I knew they were going to because they were going to build a house, but I didn't know that it was all right. Like, I hadn't talked to her in like a couple weeks, so I didn't know. It is a little bit out of our price range, but then she was like, we actually got, it was more than we thought it was going to be or something. She's like, but we'll go a little lower. And I'm like, not sure if you want to wait 5-6 months. Because I know I know they are wanting to get another place too. And it's going to be a thing of if they can find a place, how quickly they're going to sell the place that they're currently in. So it would be, her house would be nice because it's not huge, but it's not super small. The only thing I don't really like about it is there's not a lot of kitchen space. So, and that's what we currently have is limited kitchen space. The rest of the house being small doesn't really bother me because the house is small, and that doesn't really bother me. I kind of like it. It's kind of cozy. It's kind of nice. And it's just Rudy and I and the dogs and the cat. So it's like, not like we need all that extra space, but it does bother me that the kitchen does not have very much storage. There was more storage above the little peninsula that we have. There was a bunch of cabinets there, but we took them out because it looked dated and stuff like that, because it looks kind of apartment-y looking, and I just wasn't really a big fan of it. So we took those out. Well, that took away a lot of our space, but the kitchen's nice. They did a lot of improvements to the house. The house looks nice. I love the basement. Like, Rudy could be down in the basement for work and everything. Like, have basically a whole office to himself downstairs. Like, he has an office to himself now. He can put a refrigerator down there. He can put, like, things where he doesn't have to go upstairs all the time. He can have his break in there. He can put a little table in there, and he can sit down and eat his lunch like he's in the lounge or something. I don't know. I was thinking like he can have that whole space downstairs for him to work in, and then plus when the dogs, like if the dogs are out and when they're barking and stuff, it won't be bothering him, and when he's on phone calls and stuff. So I just thought it would be a little bit better. Like, it would be really nice. And she did tell me, like, we would go this low. And I was like, well, that's closer to our price range. So there's, like, pluses in both parts. I don't know. But I definitely don't think they would want to wait until we move in, like, June to sell their house. Unless it's still up for sale, and then Rudy and I would talk about it. Anyway, it is now 7:20. I have to get my professional development plan, the mid-year reflection. So I just got to reflect on where my progress is right now. I actually have a lot of stuff to get done today. So We have the data deep dive. That is like where I have to go in and I have all these questions I have to answer that are off of our students' iStation that they just did and off of their math tests they did. I have tons of papers I need to send home. I keep getting all these papers. I get envelopes. I have report cards. I just have tons. I have the permission slip I still haven't sent home for next Friday for the planetarium trip. So, you know, when you have motion sensors in your classroom and you haven't been moving for a little bit of time, the lights turn off. Let's see if we can get them turned back on. It's so weird. We're just like sitting there. There it goes. And we're back. So a quick little tip for you guys, if you're one of the teachers that uses these like kind of things, what you can do is when you have extra ones, like on this one here, let me show you. We have like these little groups of 10. I'm gonna cut those out. And I did that on another one already. So I just cut out all the little pieces. I'm gonna glue them to pieces of paper. I'm gonna photocopy them and make little exit tickets for the students. So after I get done with the lesson, it's a review of old work that we've done and I'll just hand it to them and they'll have a little slip of paper that'll be similar to this. Okay, probably about this size. And they'll just have a space for them to write the numbers. So like on this one here, they'll count the 10s and 1s and they'll write whatever the number is. Quick little thing, and I'm using up these papers that I have because there's just like, they're good. The pictures are nice. So, and they're quick little exit tickets. Today, the kids were a hot mess. Big old hot mess. It wasn't so, well, they lost they lost their lunch recess because it started raining. And it started raining right before our kids went outside. They didn't get that. We came back inside. Sometimes Go Noodle works for my class. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the day. Today I didn't want to mess with it. They're really getting into the Art for Kids Hub. So they wanted to do that instead. So we did that. And so they did a whole thing. They drew a penguin and everything. And then I used that for their writing. And I said, write a story about the penguin, blah, blah. Yeah, I think that was part of it. And then the weather changing, because, it's been cold. It started getting cold again. And the clouds are all coming in. It's getting windy. It's getting, rain. So I think that's causing another issue. But it got down to, we were doing math centers. And we got to the last center. And they were just, it was like a madhouse. So I was like, just go to your desk with your heads down. And we only had 15 minutes left of the day anyways. So I said, go do your, this group do your backpack, this group do your backpack. And then I made them all go and clean every single thing off the floor. I said, I don't want a scrap of paper left on this floor. So they all went around, cleaned up everything in the room. From what I understand, everybody was having the same issue. So I think it was just, like I said, I think it was just the weather. Okay, so last year, I had a grandma that came into the room and monitor her grandchild. So she was here for a good 3 weeks. She would come in and stay in my room for a couple hours. And I knew her because, she's a friend of, she's part of my friend's family and everything. And so I knew, I already knew her and everything. But she came to me today and was like, I wanted to know if I can write a recommendation letter for you to use when you're applying for jobs. She's like, unfortunately, I'm so sorry to see you leave because I'm happy for you, but I'm so sorry to see you leave. So I said, that's fantastic. So she's going to write a recommendation letter for me as an outsider watching my classroom. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, how nice. Oh, also, my class did not earn Fun Friday. They had, because we're tied, and they had to have more points than me. That's what the rule is, because I'm like, we both can't win. And they didn't make it. And so I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. So I didn't get Fun Friday today. So what we did was, I did their math lesson, which we did 10s and 1s, and they had to, and then do an expanded form. That was today's. And then for my small group, I have a game that's called Fill Me Up. I didn't come up with a name, somebody else did. And the game comes from Miss Giraffe. It's like a whole composite shape math center activity thing. So they have these, they have to be the first one to fill up all of their hexagons using composite shapes. So they're using triangles and stuff like that. So they have the spinner thing and they put a spinner on, they spin it, and then whatever they get, they have to use to start filling up their thing. And if they spin a triangle, they don't use triangles to fill up the whole shape. They put down one triangle and they just got to keep building. If they get to one where they can't fill it up because maybe they need a triangle and they got a trapezoid, then they just start onto the next one, but they still have to finish that one. The kids really liked that one. They had a lot of fun playing that. I'll probably end up putting that into their centers, but I need to laminate the pages so they hold up. I didn't get a chance to laminate them, but I was gonna try to work on getting book orders done so I can get them sent home today. And they messed around and I didn't get to have my time when they got Fun Friday from me, because like when they do Fun Friday, I can come over and do this and then I can monitor. But I'm gonna get a few things done because it's 3:20 and I want to get out of here. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. There's still no black paper because apparently they won't ship it. I don't know what is going on. They're having major issues with it. So I'm gonna do blue. They're gonna be blue penguins. Hey guys, so I am heading down to Target right now to go get Rudy his birthday present. So I didn't pick up on it, so I'm just on my way to go pick it up. So he was wanting a smartwatch, he doesn't want one, but I was trying to get him one, but he has an Android, so there's like 50 million different kind of smartwatches you can get. So there was this Fossil one that he really liked. I found that our Target had the Fossil Generation 4, but it had good reviews for everything except for battery life. And I'm like they said it lasts like a day. But then I'm like, well, already charges his battery every day anyway, so like he doesn't wear his watch when he's sleeping, so he takes it off. So it may not be that bad. I don't know. I'm gonna buy it. And I told him I didn't tell him what I'm buying, but I told him that I am getting him something that if he wants to, he can return it and get something that he wants. I don't know. But anyways, I need to go inside and go pick it up, so I'll be right back. So this is the watch that I got him. It's the Fossil Q, I don't know, something, Generation 4 smartwatch. I'm not sure if you can see it because I don't have the screen up, so if it's all blurry or anything, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm hoping he likes it. Yeah, and I did a pickup on it, so I just ordered it. Then they sent me a message a couple minutes ago and said that it was ready. So hopefully he'll like it. His birthday's not until Monday, but I might give it to him early. I don't know. And this coffee here was free. So let me tell you the story about that. So Rudy and I went to Starbucks this morning to go get coffees like we normally do. And when I went to go pick it up, I got the cinnamon shortbread latte. It's the ice one though. That thing was really good. I really liked it. When I went to go pick them up, the lady handed them to me and she's like, okay, this one's the mocha. And then she was like, that's not a mocha. She was like, oh, I made a white chocolate mocha. So she's like, I'm gonna remake it. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, well, you can have this one because you're just gonna throw it away anyway. So I got 3 drinks. And so I just took it home, put it in my refrigerator, and now I'm drinking it. It's like almost 2 o'clock. So I really didn't need to be drinking it, but it's really good. That cinnamon shortbread one was really good. It was a little sweeter, but not like super sweet. And you didn't get a lot of cinnamon because they only put it on top. So like when you mix it in, then you kind of get it, but it was actually really nice. I enjoyed that one. I'm not sure if it's what I get all the time. I don't usually get lattes a lot just because they're expensive, but I really wanted to try this one. So I usually just get an iced coffee, but it is Saturday and it's like, I haven't vlogged really at all. I didn't even vlog yesterday. I've been vlogging in this car on this road. Is so awful, so I'm so sorry. It's probably so bumpy right now. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. And I was just standing outside, I didn't even realize how cold it was until I was just standing outside getting water after I went grocery shopping. And I was standing in between, there was a huge, not square, rectangular prism thing. Prism. teaching first grade to Logwork Taylor Pillar, and I was like standing there and the wind kept blowing through and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cold right here. I've been spending my days like trying to get all the teachers that I know in Kansas to like that work in the school district that I'm applying for, and I feel horrible because some of the people are people I haven't talked to in quite a while, and then it's like, hey, you want to do me a favor? You want to put in a good word for me at this school, you know, like, so I feel bad. But most they're friends that I had though, like it's not like they're people that I just like barely know. No, like some of them are people I worked with I worked for the whole year. That 1 year I got to know, and then I got to know them on Facebook after that, after I moved. And then one of them I went to college with forever. So, and then I have my sister doing it too. So, because she kind of works, like she's going to school for her school counseling. She works with one of the ladies that works at the school that I'm applying for. And so, and I actually worked with the lady when I was student teaching. So, the same principal. I think I explained this already. I feel like this thing is like not sitting right. So, I was talking to her on Friday, I think it was. We were texting back and forth, and I was like, can you like send an email or message to that lady, like, because you know you're friends with her and everything? She's like, yeah, I don't know what to say though. So I said, give me a minute, I'll figure something, I'll like make a little email for you. She's like, okay. So I put this in and said, hey, my brother's looking for a job, and you know, over at the school that you're at, and we were just wondering if that position's still open. His name is this, and you might have worked with him at the school, blah blah. And so the lady sends back and says, I'm not really sure if there's any positions. She's like, I don't know if those positions have been filled or not, but you know, she's like, I do know there's a second grade position that's going to be coming available too. And that was it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So I just told her, I'm like, thank you for doing that. Like, hopefully maybe she'll like say something to the principal. But then one of my friends, she worked for the school for a little bit, and she's like really good. Like, she's friends with everybody. Like, I went to college with her. She's like really nice, and she's friends with everybody. So, so she was like, I worked there. Like, yeah, I know him and everything. She's like, yeah, I'll put a good word for you. I'm like, thank you so much. I know we haven't talked in a little bit, you know, but thank you. Like, we went to school together. We did classes together. We were buds. Remember those days? Then I was like telling her, like, we're moving back, you know. She was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. So, I don't know. I feel horrible though, like asking these people for favors. I haven't like communicated with them a lot recently. And part of it has to do, I don't use my Facebook. Like, I just don't really use it that much. I'm trying to get back into using it again, but I just kind of got out of it because there was so much political crap that's on it, and it was just too much. And then everybody has their opinion, and then people are posting like really stupid things like, oh, if I repost this, Bill Gates is going to give me $1 million. Like, no, he's not. You know, all those kind of things. Like, I get so tired of it. Like, I just get tired of it. So I went to Instagram. I used Instagram. That's what I like to use, because Instagram is pretty like straightforward. It's a picture with a cute little caption, you know. I remember back in the day when Instagram didn't even have hashtags, and then even Facebook. Like, I posted both on Instagram and Facebook my first picture that I took of myself on there, and I think it was, they wanted the most recent one, but my most recent one, like I said, I haven't used it in a while. So I used a picture of me when I was getting my master's. So I like did a like, here's me then, and this is me now. But it was 2005. I got my first, like, I had Facebook when it was only for universities. That's when I got my Facebook, so it's pretty crazy. I'm trying to start using it more so I can stay in touch with people, because I'm really bad at it. But I just don't, like, I hate all the drama that's on Facebook. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, I have some stuff to do today, but it's not like a really a lot. But I'm trying to get like small little things done that we need to do around the house so that we move. Because I think our plan is we're gonna try to buy a house. Like, I think Rudy wants to go out during our spring break, and because he's gonna be out there anyway, so he was like, I'm gonna be out there, and like, you're at spring break at that same time pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's the same time. And he's like, so we might as well just look for a house. So we're gonna look for a house, if we can buy a house while we're out there. And then, because for a little bit, we can carry 2 mortgages. Like, I think we'll be okay. And then that way we can work on, like, getting the rest of the house done that we're at. And then I think I would like to, as soon as school is out, like, pack up a U-Haul truck, take everything down to the new house, and leave, like, a couple things here, and then come back and get this house, like, cleaned up and do, like, a super deep clean, and then put the house on the market. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I talked to Rudy about the plans, but that's kind of what I'm thinking his idea is. But so I'm gonna try to work on some of that today too. So, like, yesterday I like filled some holes in the spare bedroom that we had, and like there was a spot where the cats had like scratched at the wall because they're little turds, and they do that because they're cats. And so I repaired that yesterday, and I just got to repaint it. But so I'm going to close out. So I hope you like what you saw, and follow me on Instagram and everything else. Until next time, don't forget to always be you. Bye.